You probably saw that and you went, what the hell are you doing with fives again? 140 for 5 today. Lots of thinking, lots of thinking. I'm basically spent. The week or so that I did with 10 plus reps, and then leading up to that, 60 kilos for 50 reps. And then 2 days later doing the 180 for 6. Man, since that 180 for 6, man, my legs have been burning, constantly burning. Just, it's not soreness, but it's like, the word that comes to my mind is like lethargy through the knees, malaise, like weakness. Today, you know, the original plan was to come in here and do 60 for 60. And yeah, sure, I probably could have done that. But if I continue down this trend, I'm taking more and more away from the day that I freaking want to make the main point of all of this. And even though these high repetition sets are freaking amazing, and I'll stand by that until the end of time, nothing works my legs like this. Nothing. And this is not my first time going around with high repetition stuff when it comes to legs and squats, whatnot. And I just keep reinstating, reconfirming my mind when it comes to this. It is the best thing. Especially if you're doing like breathing squats, you know, where you do 10 and then take a few breaths and 10. And then you work up to like 40, 50, 60 reps, 100 reps, whatever. Nothing will smash your quads in its entirety, like high repetition squats. Nothing. The trouble with this is that it is very much the opposite of what my base training ideology is, which is high frequency training every day. You know, so I'm not saying that this is not a good thing. It's just in a different mindset, in a different world, in a different person, in a different setup. This is great. And when you listen to Arthur Jones and Mike Menzer and Dorian Yates and all these kind of characters, you know, you can begin to understand why they train legs once a fortnight. When you do a set like that, it's going to take you a very, very long time to recover because you've just exhausted every fiber in your quads. For me, in my current plan, I can't do that. And it's annoying me, and I've spent a lot of energy trying to think about it. It's just no matter how I look at it, I can't see myself recovering quick enough to do an AMRAP set in its full essence, in my full energy, spending 99% of my freaking resources. I can't see myself doing that when I've just exhausted myself 2 days prior. And my initial thought was in the last few days, since last night basically, and when I started thinking, what am I going to do tomorrow? I started thinking to myself, okay, fine, just do it once a week. If I'm doing it once a week, that means one of the AMRAP sets, which is going to be 2 days after that 1 a week session with the high rep stuff, is going to be a no-show. It's going to be a session like I did yesterday, 180 for 6, or 5, or whatever the case might be. And that is not how I got here. That is not how, you know, I got myself out of the crappy period of hip pain and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. So I have to go back to that setup, which is why today I did 140 for 5. 140 for 5, tomorrow 160 for 5, and then I'll do the AMRAP set. And the basis of all of this is that, yes, I am going back and forth and whatever. I'm going back to the current setup that I've had for 3 months until the last few weeks that I started wriggling around trying to address the upper back, and that's where kind of all of that started. The train of thought started through that. How do I address the weakness of me not being able to survive under a heavy load for a long period of time? It seems as though to me that I can't expend a lot of energy doing a lot of this other squatting. The only thing I can think of now is the AMRAPs have to be number one priority, and anything that interferes with that is pissing me off. It's pissing me off. If I'm gonna come in tired for my 180 AMRAP set, why am I doing a 180 AMRAP set? It's not, you can't, some things just don't mesh. So I'm going back to the normal setup. I'm done with the tens, I'm done with all of that. It's just, even if you do tens at 60% body weight, 60 kilos, something about the repetitions. And if I'm thinking about not spending my legs, this is something that I've come to a realization. High repetitions cost me lots. Low repetitions don't cost me lots. I seem to be able to recover quicker. So when I do 160 for 5, it's challenging for the core a little bit, but I'm able to recover for the M-rep sets. When I do 60 for 50, I'm spent for a week. I'm still not right. My legs are still feeling jelly and I feel like I've gotten weaker, which is obviously not the case. I just have to recover. It's not mashing with my 180. I don't want to spend 2 or 3 sessions, 4 sessions with the M-rep sets are just a joke. What am I doing? I can't be doing 2 programs at once, 2 ideologies. So the M-rep sets have to be the biggest concern, and anything that threatens that is not compatible, which leaves me with, what am I going to do then? I've done some rowing, and I even went back to really light single dumbbell rowing. I'm just messing around right now. I finished the majority of the session, and I'm just going to try and address the upper back stuff in a non-squatting movement. I'm going to try and roll. I'll even try the inverted, whatever they're called, inverted rows, like when you duck underneath the bar and you pull yourself up. So I'll do all these sorts of things, but I have to stay away from squats. I'm going to take squats seriously twice a week. Everything else needs to be a walk in the park. If I have a weakness in my upper back, it's going to have to be rows. It's going to have to be whatever, whatever I come up with. That's where I'm at right now. And that's not to say again that high rep squats are not good. They are freaking amazing. Nothing taxes me like that. It's just in the current setup, in the current goodness, I can't threaten that. I'm not changing that at all. So I'm going back to 5s. I'm going back to a setup where I don't freaking even train for 2 days a week or 4 days a week. Everything else is going to be greasing the groove, 140 for 5, 160 for 5. I'm going to try and make those speed days, try and really accelerate that weight, but really stop at 5 reps. And then a 180 comes around, try and leave it all on the line there. Recovery is the key with this. And once again, I've tried to merge several different ideas together and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm too taxed. And you might say to yourself, well, why don't you do 60 kilos for 30 reps or for 20 reps or for 10 reps? It becomes so far away from the tonnage. It comes so far away from what the initial thought, what they got me excited with this, that you might as well no point doing it. If the tonnage idea is too taxing, then screw the tonnage idea. Go back to heavy weight for 5s and do that in between sets, in between the M-rep days, and really spend all my points in the M-rep days. Everything else is going to be the upper body. Hit those lats, the traps. I'll spend a little bit more time today messing around with different ideas, dumbbells. I have to be careful, obviously, because I don't want to freaking rip a hernia out. But I'll just explore that. I did, supinated rows with 60 kilos again, controlling the weight, feeling the pinch. And I've got a mean lat pump right now, which is great. So I'll just continue doing that. Continue hammering the upper back so I can survive, at least from that point of view, the M-rep sets. And then as for the legs, the M-reps are going to drive that. Simple as that. So that's where I'm at right now. I know I'm kind of going back and forth, but that's often how it happens in these journeys. When you try to work stuff out, you try stuff, if it doesn't work, go back. Of course, I hear you. If I haven't given it enough time, I know I haven't given it enough time. But a lot of times you don't need to ram something home to death before you realize that it's not the right thing. And this is not the right thing, especially if I'm going to progress the volume work or the high rep stuff. It's just way too much. I keep saying it, repetitions. When it comes to hypertrophy, at least for me, repetitions are much more important than weight. I stand by that, especially with legs. Legs especially. You can do your 5x5, pick whatever the freaking weight you want. But if you do a set of 100 bodyweight squats, tell me what gives you a better pump. And I know pumps are not the be all and end all. Cool. I'm just trying to explain an extreme scenario. But instead of doing 100 reps body weight, why don't you do 50 reps with 60 kilos? It's just completely different. No weight, no 5x5 is ever gonna tax me as much as freaking 50 reps. It's a different ballgame. Anyway, let me get back to it a little bit. I'll keep working on the lats, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.